Hey tubies, it's Tally here. I'm sorry I've kind of been on a MIA hiatus. Been busy with work, and I was actually away this past weekend for a long weekend, which I'm going to talk about in a minute because that's inspiring what this video is about. So basically, my best friend graduated from graduate school. She got her master's, which I'm very, proud of her for. And she goes to school 8 hours away. And she's been going there for 5 years. She went for her undergrad and her grad school there. And I never went down just because it is a long drive and I wasn't comfortable making it by myself. So unbeknownst to her, I went down with her and her family to surprise her at graduation. The reason why this graduation kind of is inspiring this video is because a lot of what happened when I was down there, because she goes to a Christian, or obviously she graduated from a Christian college, and her family is very religious and very Christian. They actually know nothing about this. Despite making YouTube videos for the most part, I'm still in the broom closet just because I've never been one to go shout my religion, because I feel like sometimes people take that as you're shoving your religion down their throats. My sister knows, I'm sure my mom knows, my boyfriend knows, some of my friends know, but because my friend Jess is so religious and very Christian, I don't want this to become like a wedge in our friendship. So, we've never been one to talk about religion because when we were younger, we used to get in fights about it all the time. So it's kind of a topic we don't discuss. And I still go to church sometimes. Mostly it's to let the people at the church I go to or went to know I'm still alive. But I do have respect. I'm lucky in that the church that I grew up in was a very progressive Christian church. Our director of music is actually gay. His partner comes there. They just had a baby. And the baby is going to be baptized on Father's Day, which I think is so cute. Anyway, I digress. So, the reason for this video, and it might be a two-parter depending on how long I am with getting my point across, is I wanted to share my views on sex and sexuality, because I feel like it's something that's of controversy, and it's still, in this day and age, it can be a kind of a taboo subject. So, I might lose viewers for what I'm about to say and what I believe. But this was brought up at my friend's graduation because Mitt Romney was the graduation commencement speaker. And first of all, I'd just like to say I'm pretty proud of myself because the place was crawling with Secret Service and I was tempted to pull or say something, but I didn't. I behaved. But I guess the first issue I'll talk about, I'm getting off track. Okay, so Mitt Romney was the speaker, and then, again, because my friend is very Christian, on Sunday, we didn't go to church, but one of the local churches broadcasts their service on TV, so we watched the service, which was nice because I was still in my pajamas. We all were. Okay, so basically the sermon talked about sexual sin, and that's kind of where I got the idea to do this video. So the first thing I want to talk about is sex before marriage. I believe that sex before marriage is perfectly okay. Now, I want to expand that by saying that I do not believe that you should go around and sleep with as many people as possible. I don't believe that. Morally, that's not something I believe in. But I do believe that sex is a part of a relationship. You have to have a connection on a physical level, just like you need to have a connection on an emotional level. You have to have that connection. I will admit that I watched the show, sorry about that, Sex and the City. If you've never seen that, one of the characters, Charlotte, is getting married, and her soon-to-be husband decide not to have sex until they're married. She's not a virgin. I don't think the guy was a virgin either, but just for them, they decide to wait. The day before they get married, they decide they've waited long enough, and they sleep together. And I don't remember there was an issue. I don't know if it was because of him or just because they didn't have that connection or whatever, but she kind of is like, oh, it happens, he'll be fine the next time around. And in the end, they end up getting a divorce because, they can't connect on that level. So, I do not believe that having sex before marriage is a sin, and I use this term sin loosely because I feel like that's such a Christian term. I think, I don't know. Like I said, I don't condone going around and, oh, I just met you, we've gone on 2 dates, let's have sex. I don't think that's right, because I think you're just kind of giving yourself a label, whether you're a man or a woman, and you're just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. You're kind of, not treating your body with respect if you're going to do that with every person you meet. However, if you're in a relationship and you feel committed to that person and you love that person, I think it's perfectly acceptable to, have some type of physical relationship with them, and sex is such a loose term anyway, in terms that, people define it differently, some people classify certain things as sex, other people don't consider it sex. It's, you have to do what you believe is right and what you're comfortable with. So yeah, that's kind of what I believe in that. The other thing I want to talk about that they brought up in this sermon was the issue of pornography. And how, actually the statistics they gave were pretty, interesting, that, the average age the first person watches pornography is 11, and that the most people who watch the most porn are, teenagers to young 20s, I think it was, something like that. And then the preacher kind of brought up this thing about how he had, I guess, someone in his church wrote him a letter about how pornography ruined his life. How he, watched so much pornography that his wife left him and took the kids, and he hasn't seen his kids in 3 years, and how if he had just stopped watching pornography, he would have had his kids, and he misses his kids. Okay, I'm not saying that he doesn't miss his kids. I'm not saying that, he doesn't wish he had his kids back. I'm not judging this guy at all. But I am kind of two-sided on this whole issue of pornography thing. Obviously, anything that involves stuff that's illegal, like whether it be, someone, a porn involving a rape, or I feel terrible saying this, but, something like that, or child pornography, I obviously am completely against that. I think people should be punished severely for doing that. However, I do know some couples that use pornography in their relationship, that it's kind of, I don't personally use it, so I'm assuming, which I know is a terrible thing to do, but they use it as a way to spice up their relationship, if you will. So I kind of feel, if that's your thing and you and your partner, whether it's, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, your husband, your wife, whatever it might be, if you guys together decide that that's something that you want to explore and something that you feel will help your marriage, again, with the exception of the illegal stuff, all power to you. You do what you have to do to keep your relationship going. However, if you're in a relationship, from what I'm understanding with this guy, and you're using porn to me, it almost seemed like he was using it to escape his marriage. But again, I don't know, I just got a brief explanation of what the sermon said, so to me, that either A, this guy had an addiction to it, which I truly believe is possible, and I think if you do, you need to seek help. And 2, maybe there was a problem in his marriage besides his, desire to look at porn. I don't know. So I think it's kind of a case-by-case basis, I know that, like I said, I know people that use it to spice up their relationship. I also know people that they say it's ruined their relationship. But to me, I think that's just an excuse. If you're saying pornography ruined your relationship, you need to dig deeper. Are you guys not connecting on a physical level or an emotional level even? Is this an addiction problem? I think it's more of a surface problem. It's something we use as an excuse. Again, that's just my personal beliefs. Okay, maybe this won't be a two-parter, because I'm going quicker than I thought. Okay, so I covered sex before marriage, pornography, and the biggest thing that came up this weekend was same-sex marriage. Gets me every time. I do not understand why same-sex marriage is even an issue. I do not get why gays and lesbians or whatever. I don't understand why people who choose to be with somebody, well, actually, I don't think it's a choice. I believe that you were born, gay, straight, whatever. I believe you were born what you are. And I do not understand why people are making such a big deal about this. I mean, I am a college graduate. I have a bachelor's degree. I graduated 2 years ago, and I still cannot find a job because of this economy. I am in so much debt because I had to borrow money from the government to pay for this college degree that they said I needed to get a job. And now I have to work 2 jobs, 2 crappy part-time jobs, to pay for this degree that the government said I needed that I'm not using. The economy isn't the greatest. We have hungry people, we have, healthcare issues, and really we're making same-sex marriage at the forefront of our... this is something I am extremely passionate about. Gay marriage should be allowed. I'm 100% behind gay marriage. And they said this in the sermon, and Mitt Romney said this at the commencement speech, that marriage is between a man and a woman. What I don't get is that if this is a country founded on religious freedom, then why are we using religion to deny rights? In my religion, same-sex marriage is fine. So, to me, that point is invalid. Sorry, I get if I seem angry. It's just, to me, I don't understand why why people are being denied basic rights because they're in love with a man or a woman and they themselves are a man or a woman. I just don't understand. Why should my gay friends be denied the same rights that I have just because they're gay and I'm straight? It's something that really frustrates me. And I don't understand why in this day and age, in 2012, we're still fighting this. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. I get so upset about it. That's why I'm rambling and kind of all over the place now. I believe marriage is for all people. I hate this slippery slope thing they're trying to pull, saying, well, if we allow gay marriage, then pretty soon people who love ice cream can marry ice cream, or people that love dogs can marry dogs, or people that love turtles can marry turtles. No, we're not. We're talking about humans here. Human beings. Why are we denying human beings the right to be human beings? Why are we saying they don't have the right to marry someone they love just because they're a man and the person they love is a man? Or they're a woman and the person they love is a woman? I don't get it. I do not get it. Especially because we're also a country, I'm in America. I should probably state that. You probably know. But, if we're a country who also wants to argue the different, the separation of church and state, how can we use church to argue a law. It's like a double standard. It's so hypocritical. It drives me crazy. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because it's getting kind of long now. Alright, I digress my rant. So, basically, I just wanted to give you guys, based on the sermon I heard and Mitt Romney's speech, a view of my beliefs in terms of sex and sexuality. I believe that, just to recap quickly, I believe that sex before marriage is okay. I don't believe you should go and open your legs to everybody you meet, to be completely blunt. But I believe that you need to have some type of you need to connect with somebody on a physical level if you love them, you know, because you need to be able to connect on that level. In terms of pornography, not my thing, but if you use it to enhance your relationship and both parties are for it, then as long as it's not illegal, go for it. However, I don't believe it's an excuse to end a relationship. I believe that it's just a cover-up, and there's a deeper issue, whether it be addiction or a connection or communication, you know, break in, you know, the relationship. And lastly, go same-sex marriage. I will always vote, you know, for same-sex marriage. I will rally. I will post. If you're friends with me on my personal Facebook, I constantly am posting about same-sex marriage. Probably going to start doing it on my Tally account too. Okay, this is running really long, so I'm going to stop. So, yay, hi, I'm back. Sorry I was gone, and I will talk to you guys soon. Blessed be.